Hi everyone, this is Diane. I have another vintage journal to share with you today, and I'm hoping that one of you would like to take this home with you. This is created with a vintage book from the early 1900s, and it's called The Wild Olive. As you can see, it has this beautiful image of a young lady on it. There's a little bit of embossing here and here, debossing, I guess. And I put this beautiful piece of sheer lace in the shape of a bow and a flower, and it's got this 3D rose, ribbon rose on it. And I got that in a Happy Mail. I think that was from Judy. Was that you, Judy? I hope I got that right. And on the back, I saved the spine, and I just reinforced it with some chipboard, and there's Tyvek and fabric in there, which you will see. And then I added this little brad that has the ring on it, and added this portion of a vintage necklace. I thought that looked perfect on this cover. And here's the back. So this is a piece of elastic, and it's got the gold print on it because there's gold on this cover. And I put this vintage slide buckle on it and just stitch the ends together. So you kind of have to be careful taking this on and off, because if you took it off the top, you'd have to be careful of this, and if you took it off this way, you have to be careful of that. It's not hard. You just stretch it and take it off over those embellishments. This journal will come with some of these cut-off pieces. These are from the digital Ephemera's Vintage Garden Miss Lady Fay, and I will link that digital kit below. There is also an ephemera kit, which I did not purchase because, as you will see, I had plenty of my own ephemera, or ephemera from different kits and cutouts and stuff that I could add to it. But I will add some of these because they're so pretty, and you can, just cut pieces off and embellish your pages with it. And I had 3 leftover tags. There were some embellishments with the kit, ephemera I should say, tags and, I don't think there were pockets, but tags and cards. I put this really pretty scrapbook paper, which I thought accented the cover beautifully, and this is one of my favorite pieces of fabric that I've been hoarding. And it's not even on the outside being showcased, but it looks so pretty, blending the green with the pink of the first page. And this is a digital that I've had in my stash. It might be from Porch Swing Designs, but I'm not sure. But this is part of the digital set, Miss Lady Fay from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And here is another piece I've been hoarding, and it's this gorgeous pink and green embroidered sheer trim. Isn't that beautiful? And I didn't just use a stingy little piece. You got 8 sections of it. And I only put 2 on this section just because of her face. I didn't want to put it over her eye. But I think that accents this book beautifully too. The kit has greens and reds and pinks. The kit comes with these journaling pages, so they all pretty much look the same. There are it's the same background in the lined pages, but the flowers are in different positions and different configurations, so there are several different pages, but I backed all of these pages with the journaling page. There's a tracing paper here, or a typing paper, vintage typing paper. This is a green dyed paper, and I can link the kit, the shop. I bought some assorted colored dyed papers from an Etsy shop recently, and I showed them on a recent video, but I will link that shop below. I did just a little bit of light stamping, and you can write right across that. There are some cherries in this journal kit, so I added that piece of ephemera that's been in my stash. And for some of the tuck spots, I combined a couple pieces of ephemera. This is just an advertisement. I think that's a digital, and this is a digital. I fussy cut them and just glued them together as a tuck spot. This is one of the fabulous tags that comes with the Ephemera's Vintage Garden kit. And I added this piece of butterfly lace at the top. The kit also features, besides this really fun corrugation, some flowers, lots of roses. Looks like little bits of stamping. I just love this detail. Some collaging, and it features butterflies and flowers. It's a really beautiful kit. Here, this is a piece of resume paper, and I added this eyelet trim and this little piece of embroidered and sequined trim. This is a piece of vintage stationery with, looks like a pressed flower and leaves on it. This is a Tim Holtz butterfly and embellishment that came with the kit, and this is pale green parchment paper. I've had these rose printed tickets, digital tickets, in my stash for a long time, so I added a few of those throughout the book. Here I have a piece of vellum with some sheer lace forming a pocket. And I did this on a video. It's just a piano roll paper glued to a shipping tag, and I added this digital piece and this beautiful piece of lace. I do have this digital in my shop. I wanted to make sure that all of my piano roll paper corners were glued down, and that one is not. This is in my shop, and it's either called Antique Ephemera or Victorian Ephemera, but it would be smaller than this because I actually just copied my original piece to print this out, and when I scan it, it makes them smaller. So you would get a smaller version of that in that kit. But that's in my Etsy shop. My Etsy shop will be linked below, along with those other shops that I mentioned. Love this. It's such a striking image. Magnolias, the colors, the corrugation, and looks like mixed media painting. And on this page, this is actually a Victorian ephemera piece. This is not a digital. It's the real thing. And I added this digital piece. I believe I had this antique piece, and I think this is part of one of my ephemera kits also. But this was printed and in my stash, and I thought the colors were great. So again, I blended them together to create a tuck spot. And then this is a wax seal that I did with a dried flower. And these both came with the kit. I've inked, I have to ink that one. I just went through and inked things, but I missed that one. This lace just covered the whole bottom of this paper, so it goes all the way across. This is an image from the book. It matches the cover. It says, his canoe was already little more than a speck. And I didn't put anything on the back. It's quite sturdy. You could write on it, and it's aged because it's, naturally an old piece. I have some of the book pages around here somewhere, and I'm going to include them. Let me see. Not sure where I put them. I'll find them when I clean up. But it would have the title page and an inscription page, and it would have the date, the actual date of the book. I just remember that it's early 1900s, like 1909 or something like that. There's one of the fussy cuts that I had in my stash, and I just added that. Fabric cluster with a little baby doily. So pretty. Now her name, this digital kit is called Miss Lady Fay, and Fay is another name for fairies, except I think it's spelled F-E-Y for fairies, but maybe they spell it F-A-Y also, I don't know. But I think that was kind of the point, because it has fairy revels as part of the kit, and it just has a fairy-like look to it sometimes. There's another digital fussy cut, and I think that one is from Eclectic Eggplant. I cut this out of some gold metallic paper with a die that I have, and I just backed it with a scrap of the resume paper. There's a little stamping there, and I used a teardrop clip just to clip on one of the tags, which I inked and sewed a little piece of ribbon to. And here I just added a little square of vellum, clear vellum, because I did not want to cover this up. There's that gorgeous cherry image. But I wanted a place to put some cigarette cards and calling cards. So there's a antique, well, it's a vintage, I don't know if it's antique, but cigarette card with a red rose, and you can see it's a little bit damaged, but it's still gorgeous. On this dyed page, I added one of my embossed pieces and a little butterfly. Here is another collaged pocket. Has 3 pieces. This butterfly is part of the kit, and this is one of my pieces. I think this is in one of my digitals. And this is a cutout from a scrapbook paper, which I had these 2 pieces glued together and glued on, and then I saw this and thought that would be perfect, just stick in the corner there. And here's a tag. I added a digital embellishment to that because it got stuck in the glue when I put it in there, and it tore some of the paper. So I think that rose is perfect. So you can embellish all the other tags that are in here. This one has a butterfly on it, but some of them have butterflies and some are plain. So you can embellish them any way you want to, if you want to. Miss Lady Faye on her bicycle. There's another piece of lace with a ribbon embellishment that I got at a flea market. There's another Tim Holtz butterfly with a ticket. Another gorgeous piece of sheer embroidered lace, which I've been hoarding. So you have a lot of hoarded items in this journal. And again, we have, yep, I knew this one was loose. A tag, whoops, that tip came off. It's a shipping tag with piano roll paper on it again. And let's mess it all up while you're watching. That's something I've had in my stash, that lady. I'm not going to put this back in the book right now because it'll probably stick and tear because it's got wet glue on it. And this is an image from Mrs. Coggs Crafts, Stitch With Me. I used some of her images from that kit in this book. Here we have a couple of, I don't know if this came from a book or if it's a digital, but I backed both of these with cardstock. That's a digital. And a clear wax seal with a rose on it. Another Mrs. Coggs image, and one of Debbie Ann's tags. I just love those tags. Oh, here's the inscription page. Malcolm D. Stewart, September 14th, 1910. But I believe that the copyright on the book was 1909. And there's a beautiful rose fussy cut on that. This is the stationery page. I have a cluster here with a piece of vintage sheet and a vintage lace and vintage chenille. There's another vellum with another cigarette card. This rose matches that one so nicely. There's some vintage doilies. There's 108 pages front and back. I did not count the doilies in that count. And the last signature. There's a piece of lace I just added to the top there. Another Tim Holtz ephemera piece. These are on nice sturdy chipboard cardstock, so they make nice little tuck spots. And here is another piano roll tag with another sheer lace. Each signature has a different sheer lace as a pocket. Here is an ephemera pocket tuck spot that I made, and a wax seal with a dried flower in there. These are ephemera pieces from the kit. And here's the title page. 1910. So I think I still have some pages to put with the journal. Maybe I don't. But if I do, they will come with the journal. And I love the way this pocket looks. I had this in my stash. I just used a pocket die. It's an edge die. And I just made the pocket out of a scrap of paper, and I thought the color was great with this. And I just love the way it looks. When I added this, matches the colors over here, and those greens and pinks and creams just all look so pretty together. And my signature is on the back. So there we have it. I will put this back in when I'm sure the glue is dry. And I will just slip this back on. If I was using this journal, I would put this elastic in a safe place and put it back on when I'm completely done with the journal. I wouldn't mess with taking it on and off all the time if I'm using it on a daily basis. But that's your call, of course. So this is the Wild Olive, and it is in my shop when you see this video. Thank you so much for watching, and please give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and please leave a comment. And go visit the shops that I will link below, and if you want to, tell them I sent you if you make a purchase. So again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a creative day today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.